Imagine a single investment that pays dividends not just for years, but for decades, or even centuries. In a world of fleeting trends and grocery store price hikes, there is a quiet, rooted miracle that offers true food security. It isn't found in a bank account, it's found in the soil. When we talk about planting a tree to feed a family forever, we aren't just talking about a snack. We are talking about keystone species, trees so prolific, nutrient-dense, and resilient that they can become the backbone of a household's diet and even their economy. The candidates for forever. To feed a family indefinitely, a tree must meet 3 criteria: longevity, caloric density, and versatility. Here are the titans of the botanical world that fit the bill. 1. The breadfruit, Artocarpus altilis. In tropical climates, the breadfruit is a literal bread tree. A single tree can produce up to 200 grapefruit-sized fruits per season. Nutritional power, high in complex carbohydrates, fiber, and vitamins. Versatility, when green, it tastes like a potato. When ripe, it is sweet like custard. It can be roasted, fried, boiled, or ground into gluten-free flour. 2. The chestnut, Castanea. Known historically as the bread tree of the Mediterranean and Appalachian Mountains, chestnuts were once the primary source of carbohydrates for entire rural populations. Longevity. Some chestnut trees live for over 1,000 years. Yield. A mature grove produces more calories per acre than many grain crops, without the need for annual tilling. 3. The Moringa, Moringa oleifera. While smaller, the Moringa is the multivitamin tree. The miracle factor. Every part is edible. The leaves, high protein, the pods, like green beans, and the seeds, which can also purify water. It grows with such speed that you can harvest leaves within 6 months of planting. Why forever is a biological reality. Agriculture usually requires a cycle of destruction. Clear the land, till the soil, plant the seed, harvest, and repeat. This depletes the earth. A tree, however, operates on an inverse logic. Soil wealth. As a tree matures, its root system reaches deep into the subsoil, pulling up minerals that surface crops can't reach. Every autumn, it drops leaves, creating a self-mulching system that builds topsoil. By planting this tree, you aren't just growing food. You are building a factory that produces its own fertilizer. Resilience against climate. Annual crops like corn or wheat are fragile. One heat wave or a week of heavy rain can wipe out a season. A mature tree, with its deep roots and woody structure, is a fortress. It buffers the family against climate instability, providing shade for the home and a reliable harvest when the garden might fail. The economic shift, from consumer to producer. The phrase, feed your family, extends beyond the stomach. In many parts of the world, the surplus from a single high-yield tree, like a mango, avocado, or walnut, provides a cash crop for the household. Zero input returns. After the initial 3 to 5 years of care, the input cost of a tree drops to nearly zero. No more buying expensive seeds or fertilizers every spring. The gift of excess. A mature pear or apple tree produces far more than one family can eat fresh. This leads to the ancient arts of preservation: drying, fermenting, canning, and juicing. These skills turn a seasonal harvest into a year-round pantry. How to plant your legacy. If you are ready to plant the tree that will feed your lineage, you must look past the quick fix and think in decades. 1. Choose for your climate, not your cravings. It is tempting to want a lemon tree, but if you live in a frost-prone valley, you are fighting nature. A native nut tree or a hardy persimmon may be less exotic, but it will be the one that actually survives to feed your grandchildren. 2. The guild system. A tree shouldn't be a lonely monument. To truly feed a family, use permaculture principles. Plant nitrogen-fixing clover at the base, aromatic herbs to ward off pests, and berry bushes in the shade of the canopy. This food forest creates a self-sustaining ecosystem where the tree is the anchor. 3. Patience as a virtue. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. You may not eat a full meal from your tree this year, or even next. But by year 7, the scale tips. By year 15, the tree is an unstoppable force of production. The philosophical harvest. There is a profound psychological shift that happens when a family stops relying entirely on a barcode for survival. Eating from a tree you planted fosters a sense of belonging and stewardship. It teaches children that food comes from the earth, not a plastic wrapper. It provides a sense of security that no sale or stock can match. When the world feels chaotic, the sight of a tree heavy with ripening fruit is a reminder of nature's inherent generosity. A call to action. Do not wait for the perfect garden or the perfect time. Even a small backyard has room for a dwarf fruit tree or a columnar nut tree. He who plants a tree plants a hope. Lucy Larcombe. But he who plants a food-bearing tree plants a future. Look at your land, find a sunny spot, and dig the hole. Plant the tree today, and let the earth take care of the rest. Your family's table will thank you for generations to come. Ultimately, planting a food-bearing tree is an act of defiance against a disposable culture. It is a transition from being a mere consumer to becoming a steward of a living resource. As the canopy spreads, it creates a microclimate that protects smaller crops, cools your home, and provides a sanctuary for beneficial wildlife. This is the living larder, a pantry that never closes and a grocery store that never sends a bill. When you sit beneath its branches decades from now, you won't just see wood and leaves. You will see the physical manifestation of foresight. You will see a harvest that has weathered storms, outlasted economic shifts, and provided consistent nourishment to those you love. By placing that sapling in the earth today, you are signing a contract with the future, ensuring that long after your own hands have stopped tilling, the earth continues its quiet, generous work of feeding your family. The ripple effect of a single seed. This commitment goes beyond the physical fruit hanging from the boughs. It is about building communal resilience. A tree that feeds a family often ends up feeding a neighborhood, fostering a culture of sharing and bartering that strengthens local bonds. In an era of global supply chain fragility, the security of a backyard harvest is incomparable. You are essentially anchoring your family's well-being to the rhythms of nature rather than the volatility of the market. By choosing to plant today, you transform a patch of dirt into a perpetual engine of health, heritage, and hope.